Hello, children of class 6. Today I am going to do the topic Indus Valley Civilization with you. I have already done it in the class, but I am repeating for the boys who missed the class. Okay, so you can go through the video and you will understand the main points of this chapter. Now, about 4,500 years ago, a great civilization flourished along the river Indus. Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, which are now in Pakistan, these were the two main cities of this civilization, that is the Indus Valley civilization. And why is it called the Indus Valley civilization? Because it flourished along the river Indus. Now the Indus Valley cities, they were very well planned cities. We know this from the excavations at Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Now what are excavations? Like I told you, that excavations are when you dig deep into the earth. Excavating is when you dig deep into the earth and you find things related to the past from there. And then of course, then you study about them and then you come to know about the past. Now these two cities, they can be divided into two parts, the citadel, that is the main part, and the lower town. So these two cities, that is Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, which belong to the Indus Valley civilization, they can be divided into two parts, that is the citadel and the lower town. Now the citadel, the citadel was a raised part in the cities, and this was called the citadel. The citadel had massive walls. Massive means very strong, very huge walls, and its height provided protection against floods. The citadel's height, it provided protection against the floods. How? Because this was a very big raised part in every city. Important structures like public baths, which are just like the modern swimming pools we have these days, the granaries are the godowns, and the town hall was situated in the citadel. So in the citadel, all the main buildings, that is the granary, which is the godown, then the great bath, and what are the great baths? They're just like the modern swimming pools, and the town hall where people used to assemble. All these are situated in the citadel. The Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro shows how good the Indus people were at engineering and planning. Okay, now the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro shows how good the Indus people they were at engineering and at building. They were very good at that time in these two things, that is engineering and building. The inner walls were treated to prevent seepage. Now, the inner walls of the Great Bath, they were made in this way that they could prevent seepage. What is seepage? That is a flow or leak slowly through a substance. Seepage means any flow or any leak which is there which is making its place through a substance. So the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro shows how good these Indus people they were at engineering and at building. They had a very good skill in it, and there were also stairs over there in the Great Bath which went over there down to the Great Bath. Of course they were used for cleaning the bath, and it also had changing rooms like you have in the modern swimming pools where the people go and change and then they go for swimming and then they come back, take a shower. In the same way, the Great Bath also had all these things. Now the granary, is the godown. The godown at Mohenjo-daro was the largest building of the city. The godown of Mohenjo-daro. What is a godown? It is called a granary. At that time it was called a granary. So the granary means the godown or a storehouse. At Mohenjo-daro, it was the largest building of the city. Now near these granaries, there were circular brick platforms meant for threshing grain. There were brick platforms near the granaries, and what were these used for? For threshing grains. What is to thresh something? Thresh means when you separate grain from the rest of the plant. Okay, you thresh it. And in this process, you separate the grain from the rest of the plant. Mohenjo-daro also had a large hall which may have been used as an assembly hall, a prayer hall, or for cultural shows. Now, this Mohenjo-daro, where there was a huge hall, which was a very large hall used as a prayer hall, or it was used for conferences, it was used for cultural shows. All these things were there in the city, and they were situated. Where were they situated? In the citadel. So all these things which I'm telling you about, that is the Great Bath, the granary, and the town hall, and the big hall, which were there over there in Mohenjo-daro, they were there in the citadel. Now the lower town. Outside the citadel was the lower town. Outside the citadel, we had the lower town inhabited by petty merchants, craftsmen, and laborers. Petty means small. Petty laborers, craftsmen, and workers, they lived over there, and this lower town was situated outside the citadel. Now, houses of the Indus Valley people, they were 1 or 2 stories high. Now, how do we know? We were not there at that time. No one has a picture, but how do we know? Because the remains have been found. And the remains which have been found, they show that the houses were 1 or 2 stories high. They were made of baked bricks and were built along narrow, straight lanes. Every house had 2 or more rooms with small windows, a bathroom, a kitchen, and a courtyard. Almost every house had a well. Now, one thing to notice that all these houses, they had a bathroom which was inside. That means the drainage system was very good. Okay, they did not have to go out for the toilet. They had a toilet which was inside the house. So the bathroom was inside the house, and the houses were 1 or 2 stories high, and every house had a courtyard and a well. Well is just like the modern tanks we have to store water. Now, the drainage system was very good at that time. The houses had very good drainage system. The kitchen and the bathroom had drains. Okay, the kitchen and the bathroom had drains connected to the covered main drain running alongside the main road. Now, see the kitchen and the bathroom as they were situated inside the house. They were built inside the house in a modern way. So the drainage system was very good, and the water from the kitchen and bathroom was carried to the main drain outside the house, main drain which was outside over there on the streets. So just like a modern day system. So you can come to know from this, children, that the Mohenjo-daro people and the Indus Valley, you can say the civilization, it was a very prosperous and it was a very modern civilization. And these 2 cities, they were based on very modern lines. They were built on modern lines, and they had excellent engineers over there. And you can come to know, we will read further in the chapter, we will know that how these people, they kept on developing. Now, the occupations of the Indus people. The Indus people had many different occupations. What is occupation? The mode of work. What kind of work you do. There were farmers, there were weavers, potters, metal workers, toy makers, jewelers, stone cutters, and traders. So these were the different professions. Okay, these were the different professions people used to have at that time. Now, farming. The Indus farmers, they grew wheat, barley, gram, peas, maize, and millets. Okay, the Indus farmers, they grew these different grains. What were the grains? Wheat, barley, gram, peas, maize, and millets. Okay, now what you all know what is wheat. Okay, barley is also a food grain. Now, what is gram and peas? You know peas, of course, gram, chana, and peas, all of you know, matar. And maize and millets. What is maize? Maize is a cereal plant. Maize is a cereal plant whose large yellow grains are also eaten as a vegetable. Okay, maize is a cereal plant and whose large yellow grains, they are eaten as a vegetable. Now, they were first to grow cotton in India. The Indus people, the first were the first to grow cotton in India. And what did they use? They used plows and sickles and different methods of irrigation. Irrigation is watering the fields, and they used plows and sickles. And different methods of irrigation means that, of course, when there was no rain, there was less water, then they used to give water to the fields through the irrigation and artificial systems. Now, write down the meaning of plow. Plow is a piece of farming equipment. Plow is a piece of farming equipment with 1 or more blades fixed in a frame. With 1 or more blades fixed in a frame used to turn over the soil. Okay, so plow is a farming equipment. Plow is a farming equipment with 1 or more blade, and it is fixed in a frame used to turn over the soil. And what is a sickle? Please write down the meaning of sickle also, and otherwise you just remember it. A tool which is used for cutting corn. Sickle is a tool used for cutting corn with a semicircular blade, and a short handle. Okay, so they use these plows and these sickles for farming. Yes? Okay, now toy making and sculpture. Toy making and sculpture was another important activity at that time. Many toys were made at that time. They were made of burnt clay, which is called terracotta, and figures of animals and statues was a major industry at that time, toy making and making of statues. Now, statues that of a bearded, shawl-clad man showing the artistic skill of the Indus craftsmen. Now, statues, we found a statue of a shawl-clad man. Okay, it's given in your book also. Statue of a shawl-clad man shows the artistic skill of the Indus people. Now, spinning and weaving also were other things which these people did at that time. A piece of woven cloth, a piece of